I don't feel lonely now.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeff, this is Rob Guitars, you know that already. Okay, Rob's sitting next to me here, Rob from Jamiroquai, and you might find this interesting. Rob, you just come back from quite a small tour for you,
yeah,
am I right?
Just a 2-week stint, yeah, just around France and 1 gig in Germany.
Excellent. Yeah. And the Paris gig was cool, I saw some of it on YouTube.
Yeah, very good, always good fun playing in Paris.
It was a sellout?
Sellout, yeah.
How many people at that gig, Rob?
17,000, I believe.
That just sounds frightening to me. I'd be so nervous, mate. I don't know how you do it.
You can only see the first 50, I think.
50.
The rest are just.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've never actually. I've never done gigs that size. I used to play in a rock band when I was a kid, and I think the biggest audience we had was about 17.
17, that's
yeah,
all right, you know. That's actually more nerve-wracking than 17,000.
It probably is. But being serious, look, so that was a cool little tour. What gear do you use, Rob? People want to know, are they really expensive Strats or just Strats that you fell in love? So you was using Music Mans, you're using Strats now.
I mean, I still do use Music Mans in the studio quite a lot. At the moment, I'm using my favourite guitar, which happens to be an old Japanese vintage Squier, which...
So it's a JV Squier?
A JV Squier, yeah, from, I think, 1982.
Well, that's a minimum, Rob, just so you know, and you guys and girls out there, just so you know, it might be a Squier, but an 82 JV Squier, if it's in good nick, we'd sell it at World Guitars probably 1,500 quid now. They're very desirable.
Yeah, I mean, I bought it a good 15, 20 years ago for about 140 quid.
Oh, that's just madness,
but
mate.
It's just one of those guitars that I've got custom shops, I've got a custom shop Strat, which I love, but I just keep going back to the JV.
Okay, cool. And do you take many different? It's just one amp rig you use?
I've got one amp that I use. I've got a backup. I'm using on stage at the moment. I'm using a divided by 13 JRT 915 because we do have it's a quiet stage. You know, the whole band's on in-ear monitors, so I wanted a lower wattage amp so I could crank it a bit more and just get a bit more tone.
Because a lot of people think Jamiroquai, or quite a few people think Jamiroquai is just like a funky sort of dance band, but a lot of the songs are quite rocky, so it's sort of like a rocky funk band.
Yeah.
So the divided, does it cover all of that?
It does. I mean, it does. It means that, you know, I can crank the amp a little bit. I do use pedals in front of it. I don't use the overdrive. I mean, with those amps, you crank them to get the overdrive, but I do a lot of work with the volume knob on the guitars,
which is what it's for, yeah.
And but I just use boost pedals, things like tube screamers, and my overdrive at the moment is a Providence. Is it SOD? SOD, the red one.
The red one is not a Stampede.
Stampede, yes.
Yeah, that's really great pedal.
Yeah, really.
So
nice.
it's like it's the cool little valve amp, which in your case is the divided by 13. Stampede overdrive pedal.
Yeah.
Bit of delay sometimes.
Delay, I use an Eventide delay pedal because I've got different patches and all the songs are tempoed out, so I can use certain delays for certain songs. Then I just use a chorus pedal, a phaser pedal, just for little parts of songs.
So it's a really simple setup.
Most of the time, the whole gig is amp, guitar, lead, and then I just use the odd pedal here and there. Because the band is quite a big band, there's horns, there's BVs, there's percussion, I find that the best sound for me in that band is the cleanest, most direct thing possible. So I don't have a stereo rig or anything like that, it's just amp, guitar.
And probably a lot of people like to know, is there another album due? Are you writing songs with Jay, new album?
We are talking about going into the studio next year and recording a few things, finishing off a few things that we didn't put on the last record. Okay, cool. And probably touring a bit more. I'm going to got a nice 3-day trip to Sydney on New Year's Eve.
It's going to do your head in, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, normally people go to Australia, they go for 3 weeks minimum.
Yeah.
And you're going for 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds fantastic, mate.
Yeah,
I'm sure your wife's delighted that you're going to be away New Year's Eve, am I right?
Probably not, no. Probably not, but I'm just sort of in and out. I'll be back before she knows it.
Okay. Hey, listen, Rob, thanks for the information. I think a lot of people find it interesting. And what do we say? Over and out.
I don't feel